All right, today we're diving into something really cool. It's not a finished film, but the concept for one. A feature-length rock opera called Purple Circuits. At its heart, it's a story about music, technology, and that universal struggle to find your own authentic voice in a world that's always pushing you to sound like everyone else. And this one line, this is the soul of the whole story. It really sets up the central conflict for our main character before we even meet him. He's got the talent, he's got the technical skill, that's the voltage, but it hasn't been channeled into anything that has real meaning or purpose yet. It's just raw, unshaped energy. So, who are we talking about here? Well, meet David Burton. He's this incredibly gifted but kind of emotionally walled off techno DJ in Houston. The whole story is built around what the creators call a spiritual collision between his underground world and the massive, towering legacy of Prince. Think of it as an exploration of what it means to be mentored by a legend, even after they're gone. Okay, so this gives us a quick snapshot of the world we're stepping into. First off, it's a rock opera, not just a concert movie. The setting is specifically Houston, and I love the contrast here. You've got these buzzing, intense warehouse clubs right alongside the warmth of quiet kitchens and church halls, and the tone they're going for is generous, melodic, and superhuman, all guided by Prince's ethical compass, not just a copy of his sound. This really brings us to the core of David's conflict. See, he's living this life of stark contrasts, a kind of creative duality that really defines his whole struggle to find a real voice for all that talent he has. And here you can see that contrast laid out perfectly. On one side, his nights are all about technical precision. He's admired, for sure, but he's guarded, closed off in the cold space of a warehouse club. But on the other side, there's his mother's kitchen. It's filled with the warmth of old vinyl, a quiet sense of faith, and there in the background is the soft, ever-present sound of Prince. So you've got one world that's all about precision, and another that's all about soul. So here's the crucial point. People respect his skill, they admire what he does, but they don't feel his music. It's a performance of technique, not emotion. And that brings us right back to that opening line. His talent is pure voltage, but it's lacking a voice, a purpose, a real reason to connect with anyone. And this is where everything changes. David's carefully built world of precision and control is suddenly interrupted by this unexpected creative breakthrough, a spark of inspiration that seems to come from somewhere else entirely. Now, it is absolutely vital to understand this. Prince does not show up as some character in a biopic. That's not what this is. He's more of an idea, an ethical North Star. He's an echo, a vision, a set of musical and moral coordinates. In a way, he represents the permission David needs to give himself, permission to bend the rules, to be vulnerable, and to finally let his rhythm breathe. So this purple signal, this new idea, it has a massive effect on him. David can no longer just operate in his isolated, competitive little bubble. It actually forces him to open up and start connecting with the much broader musical community right there in his own city. And the result is what the story calls the Houston Choir. It's this incredible soundscape made up of everyone from fellow DJs and club kids to church musicians, old funk players, and even bedroom producers. It really paints a picture of Houston as this generous, musically diverse city. And through it, David learns to become a collaborator, not just a competitor. But of course, as soon as David finds this new, authentic voice, the industry comes knocking. He starts facing pressure to conform, to brand himself, to fit neatly into an algorithm. I mean, that's the timeless struggle for any artist today, right? Do you create for the algorithm or do you create for yourself? His biggest challenge becomes choosing between that safe, commercial sameness and the risky, soulful path he's just discovered. And all the while, his mother's quiet, steady support is what keeps him centered. So all of this leads to the finale. But the climax of this story isn't what you might expect. It's not about landing a massive record deal or becoming some huge superstar. It's about something much more internal, much more profound. You can really map out David's entire journey in these 4 steps. He learns to choose integrity over just being visible. He learns to have a real dialogue with his influences instead of just imitating them. He learns to use his technology to express emotion, not to escape from it. And in the end, the goal isn't triumph in the way we usually think of it. The goal is clarity. He finally knows exactly who he is as an artist. And this, right here, is why the whole concept is so compelling. It completely avoids nostalgia. It doesn't treat Prince like a museum piece. Instead, he becomes a living, breathing philosophy of innovation, ownership, and soul. And by putting a mother's quiet love right at the emotional core, it grounds this technically daring story in something deeply human and universal. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. It kind of reframes the entire idea of what creative success even means. Maybe the ultimate goal isn't the roar of the crowd, but that quiet, confident hum of knowing you've finally connected your talent to your soul. It's definitely something worth pondering.